times. And I did see Ryan Clark say, he's not even going to address the corny part. And he said, well, I'll let you say what you do because, at one point we were friends and, it don't really bother me that much that you were saying. But now, it's getting to a point where, you said too much. And
Through the money, designer the drip. Don't got a cap, I'm as real as it get. Bet on myself and I tripled the flip. Came from the streets, I'ma stick to the script. We popping bottles like we went a trip. Rather fill up accounts than empty a clip. 10 on the ground, so I never slip. They love you, they hate you, I'm watching them switch. Switch, 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 switch. They hate you, they love you, I'm watching them switch. Switch.
Topic order. You already know what it is. It's your boy Chance. Rook in the house. Kenzo the Great. You already know it's Be Yourself podcast. Gonna do it on some rapid fire type ish today. Make it mad quick. Like, share, subscribe, do all the good stuff you do. Get you in and out. That's how we get it. You know what I'm saying? That's how you do it on the weekends with your lady friend or whatever friend. That's how you do it. Just get right into it. Because it's all over. If you look right now, depending on when the air, it's probably still on baller alert and all that good stuff. Been some spicy content going on with your boy Brandon Marshall, Channing, Fred, and Ryan Clark. Now, we're not gonna go all into this. We don't really know everybody there. We're just gonna give our opinions on certain things. So I'm gonna let y'all need some clarification. I sent y'all the video. I need to, or should we tell them what happened? If y'all don't know what happened, basically you saw all be in a group together. There is talk of alleged shady business going on, which is why Channing and Fred left and went with Ryan. And then, Cam did what he did, had an interview with Brandon. Brandon basically aired some stuff out, said it wasn't about shady stuff, and that he also had some situation with Ryan, and Ryan kind of reneged on him, and then called him corny and blah, blah, blah. Then it went back to the pivot saying what they had to say and saying that B. Marshall basically just clout chasing and he does do bad business and all that stuff. So I'll let you give your take real quick, Kenzo, and then we'll slide over to Rook, and then I'll say what I gotta say, and then we'll move on to the next topic.
Maybe not too much personally, but as a football fan, I too was a fan of Brandon Marshall. It's not just Rook; he was a Miami Dolphin. In case you know, that was on his resume, and he was a very good Miami Dolphin. We don't have too many of those in my lifetime. Got a couple of them nowadays, but we didn't at that time. And because of he was on the Dolphins, I do also know that Brandon Marshall has I don't want to say mental health issues, but he does have some things that he's had to work through, and this is well known if you know football. So let's put that out there just to make sure in case you didn't know. So I didn't watch the previous podcast. So the two clips that you tagged us in on Twitter, I did, or X, whatever they call it now. I did see those because they were like doing the rounds, and I did watch both of them. I'm actually, I ain't gonna lie. Until you tagged me, I ain't watched them, and then you tagged me, then I watched them. But I did see them passing by a couple of times, and I did see Ryan Clark say, he's not even gonna address the corny part, and he said, well, I'll let you say what you do because at one point we were friends, and it don't really bother me that much that you were saying, but now it's getting to a point where you said too much and back and forth too many times. And the other clip you had with Channing, and again, Channing, another Miami Dolphin, in case you didn't know, very good Miami Dolphin as well. And he said some real stuff too. He's like, well, I mean, ain't nobody made me. My parents made me. That's what he basically said, right? So he didn't like that aspect of it. Now, as far as shady business, again, there's a lot of allegedly and things that we again straight up just don't know. So, but as far as them boys already broke off and made their own podcast, and the Pivot's fairly successful as far as I know. Maybe I'm not sure. Is it to the level of I'm an athlete? I don't know. Again, I didn't watch it. I was the type of guy, my friend sent me clips. And if, at some point in the day I wasn't too busy, I might go back and look at it if I remember you sent me the clip. But as far as personal stuff, again, let's not act like we don't know how the business works. We talk about this stuff in how many episodes we didn't have. The business got some elements to it. I mean, there's gonna be a lot of he said, she said. I'm not gonna take no sides. But again, from those three guys that came together, they said, well, both I don't remember Fred exactly, but I know both Channing and Ryan said, well, again, we've let this guy speak for this long. It's just to this point, we can't do it anymore. So,
man, I got to piggyback the whole mental health situation when it comes to B Marsh. I mean, dating back to college, that's as far as I can remember. But, in his early days in NFL, a lot of the off the field issues that he was having, and he was a big supporter of mental health, a big advocate himself. He got tons of fines from the No Fun League. We'll get into that, for wearing green shoes to support mental health. That's the color. and the NFL all of a sudden is all in on that now, but they weren't in all in before. And he talks openly about his situation, and clearly, I feel like he's still dealing with that. And that affects his relationships. It has always affected his relationships, and it's affecting his business practices. Because we talking about RC Ryan Clark, who the more I watched him as a player and as a professional conduct himself, I tell younger kids that I talk to or mentor that guy right there is somebody you should try to pattern yourself after.
Sure.
So I trust RC. I was watching I Am Athlete. So we talking about Shannon Crowder, who played linebacker for the Dolphins. Dude was really good, but he's also, a stand-up guy. Fred Taylor, Jacksonville. There's no Jaguars without him.
Word.
Stand-up guy. These guys tried to, stand put, not try to create any buzz by starting a back and forth, and it hit a fever pitch, you would say, right? I don't know what the deal is with Brandon, but I do know that that health issue has something to do with it. Maybe he is clout chasing, but who isn't in this current day? RC and them dudes ain't, but the majority of people are clout chasing right now. Social media has people bonkers. I hope it gets fixed. These are all really great athletes and cool people if you get to be around them for 5 minutes. Brandon too, man, on his great days, he's great to be around, and he was a pretty fun teammate to have and a very underrated wide receiver of this generation. I'll just leave it at that.
There's only two things I had to say about it, and then you guys can either respond to it or we can move on to the next topic. There's two things I don't like about it. One thing I don't like about it is that I used to watch I Am Athlete, actually. I'm sure we all did. And then I thought that they had dope chemistry. The same way that the Joe Budden podcast did with the original members, Rory and Mal. So when I watched it, I was like, oh, these guys, they're cool. They have a good friendship. And then, obviously you take certain things like that. You're like, I want to put that with our podcast and good friendship type vibes, speaking, giving keys out and shit like that. The thing I don't like about it is that they actually had an episode with Joe, and they were talking about the breakup that they had. And B. Marshall was like, I'm trying to learn from you so that we don't go through this. And then they ended up going through the same thing from allegedly the same type of business. So that's the one thing I don't like about it. The second is, it seems like there's truth to what they said of the cloud chasing, because on a serious question, ever since the breakup and the numerous different amount of people that have been revolving in the chair because of whatever reason, do you actually watch I Am Athlete? Because I haven't watched ever since. All I watched is the pivot. You know what I mean? And I've watched other shit too, but I'm saying the pivot over I Am Athlete I've watched, and Ryan Clark is definitely winning because got the new HBO Fox shit going on. He's on fucking First Take in the Morning. So
yeah, he got the NFL contract now. He's an Emmy Award winner too.
And and there's roots to what Fred and Jenny said. If there wasn't popping, would B. Marshall be saying anything? But I don't know. I hope somewhere in between all that, there's a way that they can come back. Obviously, they're probably not going to do business. They're probably not going to be best friends anymore. But I just hope that on some grown man shit, they can all dead that and keep moving, because it looks like the people on the pivot side have tried to do that. And maybe just Marshall is affected, which I can understand, like being affected because you had a vision to do something, and for whatever reason, it didn't go that way. But then you see the people that you wanted to do shit with are basically doing what you wanted to do with them. So I can understand there's probably some hurt there too. So how about some grown man shit that can kind of resolve that? But moving on, if y'all have any thoughts, I'll put that in the comments. Or do y'all want to respond to that or not?
I'm good.
I'm good.
Because say he on the time limit, he's good. All right. We're going to
I am, but I'm also good.
We're going to go straight into the no fun league since we kind of brought that up real quick. If y'all watch football, I don't know what it is. You guys can You guys can put me on a little more because I've been a little more, you can tell my fantasy winning. I'm in third place right now, but I've been more into football this year, watching it. I really deep diving and taking my notes and getting my stats on. But I've noticed, and you guys can tell me why, the fines is crazy. Like I'm pretty sure they've been that to a certain extent. But the number one thing I've noticed, and maybe as a casual, because maybe you guys are watching this, you are casuals. I didn't know they started fining for damn celebrations. Like, wasn't that the whole reason that we were excited about football before? Is when they scored a touchdown, they did the TO shits and the Chad Johnson shit. Like,
Oh, those are all fine.
that's what. But
Yeah,
and
they
that
were
was,
paying out ass.
Yeah, no, no. Ocho Cinco and Tio paid it like Ocho Cinco talks about it on the podcast with Shannon Sharp. If you listen to that one, and even now he paid Joe Mixon's latest fine. So yeah, those that's nothing new. Yeah, but we want to get into the nitty gritty. I mean, bottom line, they could say what they want about being influenced to children, all this other stuff. But a lot of, like you said, like because a lot of those rules are blanket rules, just a way to make sure to have as little loopholes as possible. That's why. So the way they did it when they brought celebrations back into the league, it was like, well, you can do them coordinated, got to be quick, and obviously, well, there's rules to them. But no, celebrations have always been something like with T.O. dance on the star. I'm sure Rick could tell you about all about that one. There's all types of different celebrations that's happened, and they've all caused problems because of stuff like what Theo did. Because you can celebrate and you can disrespect, and it's not too hard to draw that line in think of a second. Like again, I'm not on the side of the league, but again, like I said, there's blanket rules. Why is Tyree getting fined for not having socks when that's not a safety issue? And if kids in the regular world don't wear socks, how much of that is that really affecting society? Is that what we care about? I don't think so.
and it's hot
There
in
was a
Miami.
fine. I mean, thing is, he was wearing socks in the beginning of the game. He took them off because the shoe came off and he had cramps, and he wanted to get back in the game real fast. I mean, that's showing kids you want to get back in the game. I think that's pretty positive. If you ask me, I don't know what you're talking about. He wasn't wearing socks, and then I forgot which it was a running back actually of T.J. Warren got fined for a hit last week, and it was basically a game check. He's a running back. How you get fined for a hit as a running back? What are we doing? NFL, I'm confused. There's no way for that man to avoid what he did. He's a running back. Like, what are we talking about? It's crazy.
Brooke,
Man, I have to agree.
The Josh Allen one was crazy too, but go ahead, my bad.
The star thing, real quick with the TO thing. The old Texas Stadium, had the roof open, and it was they constructed that place in a way where the sun shined right down on the star. So it was said so God could always watch the game. He got the greatest seat, and T.O. stands in the star, and Lone Star State pride, man. I don't even know how I got so much of that shit, and I'm not from there. But George Teague, shout out to my man 31, went over there and handled that for us. Emmett scored, ran over there, put the helmet down, took the helmet off because you're not supposed to take your helmet off anymore. Since that, took the helmet off and let everybody know, this is our star. But celebration is supposed to be fun, and for the most part, it is fun. T.O. was being a showman, and I kind of understand that. So I'm not too mad about it, but there was some pride, and I'm glad that guys on the field handled that. But it's been racial. It's always been racial. They down back to the NCAA. I'm talking about how your dancing is not, an ode to God or anything special outside of yourself. It's just pointing at you. Well, this is fun. All right. Some people call it a kid's game. It was a game started by adults and then fueled by children to keep the game going. It's supposed to be fun. So nothing wrong with a dance, a Icky Shuffle, Billy White Shoes Johnson, all them dudes that was dancing back in the 80s till now. There's nothing wrong with that. All right, you're just excited. And I feel like, that's just another way of them managing the game. You follow the Bennett
100%.
brothers, they talk about that. What you said, Jim?
No, I said 100%. Go back to the hair not being able to cover your nameplate back in the days. So why was that? White hair go right over it. You don't really cover your name, so that was never a problem. Everyone else's hair actually covered your nameplate. That's why they had it like that. Because again, it wasn't your hair couldn't be a certain length. It was literally couldn't cover your name on your nameplate. When we already know who everyone is, that's what we wear numbers for. Like there's still college teams who don't have names on their jerseys.
Look at the NBA. They because this is what this is about, Chance. The uniform policy is this stupid idea. Y'all find dudes over socks. That has nothing to do with the uniform, to be honest. All right. all the way down to the leg warmers that you see that guys are wearing, the leg sleeves that are team colored. That's all the uniform. The socks are not. They really aren't. All right. And most guys want to wear socks. Maybe they wore some really serious ankle socks like my boy CD Lamb did. 4 times straight he got fined for that shit. Nonsense. But if you wore cleats before, soccer, football, anything, you risk chafing, you risk all types of shit by not wearing some type of covering under there. So it's not done on purpose. All right. Different color cleats, that too has to stop. The NBA stopped the whole different color sneaker thing. They said, yo, look, wear whatever color sneaker you want to wear. All right. This is a branding thing and it's great. That hardcore uniform policy the NFL has going on is just another way of them saying we have control. All right. Yup, cracking that whip. This is the farm. We are the farmers and you are the cattle. I'm gonna leave this shit alone, man.
All right, so let me ask the question. It'd probably be impossible, but if that indeed is what it is, which I'm pretty sure most will agree it is, and it continues to do that, the fines for celebration continue to get worse and crazy. The hit fines continue to be what they are because we're not going to go on to it, but the Shiloh hit, I don't think was crazy. But what I bring it up to say, when he was in the interview and they asked him about it, he said, I lowered where I was supposed to hit. You guys want me to go lower. And I'm telling you, if we go lower, it's going to be worse and it's going to be a problem. So if stuff like that continues to happen and they start taking more and more away from the league because they're saying it's becoming a really soft league, I'll just put it in those words. Would that be something that maybe XFL could profit from? Because then more people are like, well, let's go over here where we can pretty much have the celebrations and do the things we want and have our own branding, as opposed to because the league is just not letting up on doing what we're doing.
Well, celebrate. Those are a couple of different things. For the celebrations, the players are probably going to get that covered in the next CBA if they're smart about it because they're going to want to keep some money in their pocket. And they know how to keep money in their pocket. That's why those CBAs. If they really didn't think about it, there'd be a lot bigger gap because then they'd be like, oh, we don't worry about this. We try to make it like as long as an NFL career. But they don't. They have those talks quite often, risk lockouts and risk money because they know things are constantly changing and a lot of times in their favor. As far as the hits go, the Shiloh hit's kind of different from the NFL because first of all, it's an NCAA and targeting rules are different in NCAA than the NFL. But also, like some of the NFL hits, like the body weight thing, I think is stupid for quarterbacks because I mean, you could land on somebody's body completely and not injure their head at all. Like again, most times they don't. Like, and how can I control? It's that one is a really trippy one for me. But the hit, I get you supposed to hit this certain square. Yeah, what Shadow's saying is like if you try to go any lower, then you're basically going for legs. But you're telling me I can't go for below the knees, so then I got to go from between your shoulders to your knees, and that's not a lot to aim for. If we're being honest. It's just not a high speed car crash level. So again, it depends because also thing is he led with his shoulder. That's why he says that because if he goes any lower, he's gonna try to wrap with his arms and it's a little different. And then you're getting your head involved because you can't when you're getting lower, your shoulder comes down, but so does your head because where's your head gonna go? I think that's what he means when he says that. But I don't think targeting is going away because that's again purely a safety thing. It was bang bang play. The refs missed it. I don't think it was like a thing that you just changed. It was just a missed call. Referees have human error. It's part of the game on every sport. You talk about it in baseball, hockey. It don't matter what sport you watch. Refs fuck shit up. I don't think that's changing at all.
So players for years have said, I'd rather guys hit high than hit low because you hit low, it could end your career. You don't have to come back a year later. You don't have to make it back. And I understand that. I mean, shit. I have a few concussions myself, so I get it. You know, you shake it off, you come back in the game. Probably shouldn't do that. But I get that. But the end from the NFL, NCAA, anybody's portion of the show, the concussion lawsuit was huge. They're going to try and secure that now. I get it. And I'm a supporter of it. I believe in playing heads up football. I believe in proper form tackling, which Shiloh does not do. All right. If I'm going to get in trouble for this with him now, cool. Stop throwing your body at people all the time. All right.
Oh, yeah, that boy don't rap at all. Well, I'll tell you that for sure.
And he's not a very big
all shoulders,
dude,
no arms.
For real, he's not a very big dude neither. So a lot of bigger guys, he's gonna hit. They're gonna bounce off of him. We had that issue with Miami last weekend, literally. So please wrap up. This is a lot of area from the thigh to the shoulder is a lot to square up and drive and wrap your arms and take a motherfucker down. That being said, the XFL is contracted with the NFL. They can have as much fun as they want with celebrations, change names and stuff like that. I think eventually the CBA, like Kenny was talking about, they gotta nip that whole celebration shit in the butt in the next collective bargaining agreement. Like, yo, look, we're gonna do this. We're gonna do this our way. All right. And trash talking with police on the field. This peace sign right here that Tyreek was throwing up, I'm cool with it. Because he got it right back to him. In the Super Bowl, as a matter of fact. I'm cool with that shit. All right, that shit will handle itself out on the field. Any dude that wants to take it into fighting, they are a problem separately from celebrating because they have an issue. But other than that, taunting, there should be some level of limitation, but this is a bit too much. The other leagues can't do too much about it. NFL is the crown champion of America in all sport. It just is what it is. But the players got to take control of this shit.
Well, that being said, let's move into Kenny. About to throw you the hoop. So, in case you watch football, soccer, football, you know what I mean, cricket, whatever, and you got a little money that you want to spend,
or you live in Florida,
or we're going to definitely get to that, or you don't have money to spend, but you're trying to get some money to spend. And the key thing, like Kenny said, you live in Florida. Because one of the people we're going to talk about trapped me because I could have won some money, but they out of nowhere they're dead at the shit and they disappeared. But they're back now and they're live, at least for right now. So I'm going to throw Kenny. Kenny's going to tell you where y'all get your little picks going, what kind of apps, and we're going to take it from there.
So yeah, Hard Rock Sports Betting, the book actually went live today, this morning. The in-person goes live December 7th, but it is different. It depends. Like me and Chance both have access because Chance made the account in 2021. I also have an account in 2021. I'm also a Unity member, so I would have had it regardless. So those are the ways you get like early access, as they call it, which is already started. If you don't have any of those things, you can sign up for Unity now, and they put you on a wait list, and you might be able to get in before December 7th. But again, it's not a sure thing. I got a couple of boys they already signed up for that. I'm waiting to see what day they're allowed to come on. Prize Picks is another option. This is mostly pair props. I will say now, especially with Hard Rock out in Florida, and I know there's been a couple problems, I believe, in New York, Maine, and I think it's Colorado. Other books are trying to get Prize Picks shut down because Prize Picks is not listed as a gambling thing. It's a daily fantasy sports. There's other names to be used in places where gambling is either not legal, like Florida was before recently, or where it's just there's certain different parameters. And I do know in certain states, for instance, Prize Picks is actually just fantasy. There's no props like the way I play Prize Picks is literally touchdowns, shots on goals for hockey, stuff like that. For certain states, it's literally fantasy score, which is predetermined by the Prize Pick system. So again, so that I'm gonna warn people off of that same way. Chance is kind of warning people off of Hard Rock because, like he said, this was active in 2021 and it did get shut down. But again, from everything I'm reading and understanding, it's here to stay. There's no issues. There's no problems. Not again. So, yes, you can make money here. Let's be honest. There, I made money some money today. I made some money last week. But the most important thing when you're gambling is managing your money. It's knowing what to put where, how to do it. You can't just, I'm gonna put $5 down on this bet. It's gonna change my life, and then, I mean, that's just not how it works. It's honestly, I'm sorry. If you think that's what you're coming to do, yeah, you can pack your bags. It's a lot more complex than that. Myself, I do research for practically every pick I do. If I don't do research, because I know the person who gave it to me did research, there's different data you can look into, and there's different ways. Again, especially if you don't live in Florida, you can play things off of different books, but in Florida, you only got one option. So you got to be careful. Again, a lot of places have things, oh, it's a lock. Put the house on it. Look here, do not put the house on anything. You need your house. Where you going to sleep, you put the house on, you lose. It's called gambling for a reason, even with stocks, which I've talked about before. Stocks, I have money set aside that's coming out of my regular income that I'm going to use. And then from there, how much I'm willing to lose with everything. Gambling is the same way. You have an exit strategy. How much am I willing to lose? How much can I possibly make play that against each other. It's not just the odds on the computer you're looking at; it's weighing them against your own odds. You know, your own situation. So be mindful of that. If you need help, get your boy Kenzo the Great. Go on there, you see a ticket I hit today. You know, I got a little ticket on Instagram. You feel me? DM me. I might be able to give some advice for now. You know, it's free for now. I might have a paid Discord coming soon. You don't know. We'll see how this work out.
Yeah, go ahead and DM because he don't give me no advice in the text. So you know what I mean, know the boy wants some money. Go ahead, what you thought?
Yo, man, they need to fix their shit at Hard Rock. All right, there's mad money to be made out there, and I know they know that. So whoever they got to pay, hurry up and pay them because you fucking with other people's money and dreams right now. All right, y'all need to be caught up with us. All right, we got Bet MGM, DraftKings. All right, everybody's up here in NYC right now. So people are betting on 3 different apps, the same bet, different money, betting against their bet, hedging bets. It's going down out here.
Yeah, that's another system I could teach. But we're not gonna get into that today. We are, like I said, on the time limit. So
listen, I'm gonna tell you, if you're a rookie, Prize Picks might be the way to go for right now if you want to start small. Because it's pretty simple. Because I'm a rookie. And it's like you said, it's kind of fantasy. So I could have won, but I lost. So don't worry about why I lost. But you pick 2 people, or you probably pick more, I don't know, but you pick 2 people off rip, and then you think it's over or less. I said that I had Steph Curry, which is a no-brainer. It's at 28 points, more or less. You know Steph. Most likely it's gonna be more. So you dropped the more. My man, I think they said he had to get 28, he got 29. So I was right there. Now where I messed up, and this is because the Bills suck. And this is what happened. Josh Allen was supposed to get 275 yards. My man had 260. He had 260. They could have got the ball back, but they fucked up all their timeouts. So they didn't get the ball back, and the game was over. So I lost by 10 yards or 15 yards. But it would have normally been an easy win because Josh going to throw the ball, and Steph he's going to do his thing. So I would have paid $8, and I would have got 24. Are you going to go buy a mansion of it? No. But if you're just trying to stack a little bit here and there, boom, there you go.
yeah. Oh, so yeah. I can see
like
what now. So let me explain to you how Prize Picks works. So for 2 picks, it's 3 times your money. For 4 picks, it's 5 times your money. 5 picks is 10 times your money, and for 6 picks, it's 25 times your money. So that's the way the odds work. Let me tell you, and it's funny about Chance's story. It actually shows you one of the things I tell people all the time. Football is the hardest thing to bet because the thing Vegas pays attention to the most. I know it's everyone's favorite sport. It's the most.
I was about to say that shit.
It's the most accessible to betting. But let me tell you something. The parlay I hit today, it was soccer. The bet I just hit sitting down right now watching the game, it was college basketball. The bet I hit last week, it was hockey. What's my favorite sport? It is definitely football. But that motherfucker will drain you. They do not play about that. Let me tell you, college football and NFL, yes, it's been an exciting season this year. But betting wise, man, let me tell you, it's probably the worst year I've had since I started betting my whole life. It's been those 2 sports,
Yo, I've been to Vegas. They have the biggest sports board for football.
Oh, I see.
College and NFL, and especially college. The most bet on game is college football. There's too many games. Vegas has freaking professionals putting together these odds for a reason.
Yeah, I'm trying to get high about it.
Man, just get hyped. Like, yo, man, he got to hit the over. There's a reason why he put that shit out there.
Listen, I'm gonna wrap it up for y'all. But if y'all want a special 60-second section of where Kenny gives you a little advice, put it in the comments so we can make that happen on this channel. You know what I mean? So like, share, subscribe to all the good stuff.
It's just that we can make it happen. Make it shake, show you a little something, a football pick here, a hockey pick there, a little something.
Yeah, hopefully he answer y'all because he don't do it for me.
You don't hit me up. You expect me to just like drop picks into your inbox? You don't want that. You don't want that heat. That the group. I can add you to that group chat. You don't want that heat. This is the one that I don't turn the notifications off for that one because that's money to be made.
All right, John.
Cut through the money, designer the drip. Don't got a cap, I'm as real as it get. Bet on myself.